Python 3, Perfect Alphabetical Order. The goal of the code is to find the longest alphabetical substring within a string. When I run this code, it gives apt as the longest substring, when it's actually apt. This is because it checks the character A, comparing it to the next in the sequence, and then adds A to be giving app. Then it checks B, comparing to C and adds BC together, and then adds BC to app. To fix this, I've been attempting to make the loop skip the next character if it's in alphabetical order already, and check the next one by increasing the value of n once the condition is met, but this doesn't seem to do anything at all. Advice, tips, corrections and harsh criticism are all welcomed. Edit, it appears I've misled some of you, so I apologize. What I meant was that if I have a string, it extracts the longest possible substring in alphabetical order. In the case of Zeiss Pkets, it will extract Pkets because that's the longest possible alphabetical order substring, not Pk. The problem with my current code, is that it gives Pkets. If I could skip one loop when the first if condition is true, then I think it might work in my code.
After your edit, it is clear what was your question. I have modified your code as little as possible to show you where the bug in your solution came from. Here is the code. The problematic part was taking two chars at once in. By replacing it with, you will be adding to the current string exactly if the addition is valid, the last char current underscore string -1, and the added wannabe SN, are in order. The aleph part is simplified to not check SN, and SN+1, because it does not reflect what we are trying to do. We do not care if the chars are not in order in the whole string as we care about our current string. This logic is caught by the if statement above and else will be visited only if there is a problem. So the change here is 2. Adding a new winner if necessary and resetting the current string to the char that was not in order. The last set of ifs are checking the case when current underscore string ends on the last char of the s. While this is correct, it would be less distracting if you add a check after the loop and print only the longest underscore string. This way the output is the first valid longest string in every case and not two different longest ones when one of them is on the tail of the string.
TLDR, the last code after the edit solves the problem. This is a variant of the longest common substring problem. Credits to this post for the subroutine. Edit. It seems like the above code doesn't work for all cases, so I had to redesign the function. Output. This works on the assumption that the substring should always begin with A. This iterates through every possible substring from A, AB, ABC, up to the full string of alphabets and then stores the longest substring encountered in the check. For the sake of completeness, here is the code that would work for any longest common substring. Where one string contains the alphabets in order and the other contains the test string. Be aware that this is O(n) squared, in complexity, not that it matters for small cases.
From an algorithmic perspective, the most optimized approach is using a suffix tree in order to find the longest substring in a given string. I've implemented an optimized version of the suffix tree in Python a while ago. In case you're interested, you can check this URL. As another hacky way, you can utilize the NumPy in order to find the largest substring using the diff, where and split functions. Explanation. The logic behind this code is to find the indices of the characters that the difference of their ASCII value is 1. In NumPy we can simply do that by np.diff function. But since it needs an array of items, we can use a list comprehension to pass the list of intended values to the function. Then by comparing the result with 1 we can get a list of bool array as follows. Now we can get the indices of the false items using np.where to pass them to split function. The +1 is actually because np.split splits from 0 to our first index and then from first index to the next and etc. And at the end we can get the longest array using max function by passing the len as the key function. Also note that this approach will give you the longest consecutive sequence. If you just care about the order, you can replace the ==1 with 0. Here is an example.
A different version looping over, zip strg1 column, in order to compare the previous and the current character in the same loop iteration. Comparing the characters with OR this way has the disadvantage that these characters $% and +./O123456789 column equals $at _@avdefgautnapkirstuwazais will be considered as in alphabetical order. You may need to tweak that to your needs.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.